recent image of Japan as a strong sporting nation in international sporting event is the outcome of refocusing by government on elite sports policy and the number of government-initiated and sponsored projects. What's interesting is that two cornerstones of the sports policy were established in the past few years. The Basic Act on Sport clarified the responsibility of the public sector on sport, and a fundamental policy plan in this decade was set as a sports basic plan. In consequence of the governmental support, the performance level of Japan at the Summer Olympics shows an upward tendency. However, in Winter Olympics, Japan is in a stagnant period after the Nagano 1998 Olympic Games. Government subsidy and quasi-governmental funding, such as the lottery funding of elite sport, have been increasing yearly over the past decade. And these budgets comprise around 60 to 80% of the whole sports budget. These funding have contributed to improve a better elite sports climate for elite athletes. Our data on elite sports climate survey showed that elite athletes feel athletic support, training facilities, and expertise of coaches are very well developed. These organizations and institutions are the key elite sports actors in Japan. NGBs receive elite sports funding from the government by way of the Japan Olympic Committee and 3 types of subsidy from the Japan Sports Council. One characteristic of Japan's sports system is the after-school activity called school sports club. Almost all the schools have a multi-purpose field, sports hall, and swimming pool, so that youth can participate in sports by belonging to their favorite sports clubs. 12 local governments are running PID programs coordinating with JOC, JISS, and NGBs. It is supported by several scientific researchers of JISS and mainly take place in local science center. Also, the first national TID program has just started in this year. Multi-subject project was launched in fiscal 2008. Disciplines that can be expected to get a medal at the game are designated as target sport by the government. And the elite athletes in these sports can get multidisciplinary supports. National Training Center opened its door in 2008. NTC is located in Tokyo, and it is designed to create opportunities for elite athletes to benefit from not only sophisticated training and accommodation facilities, but also from scientific and logistic support. In London, a state-funded multi-support house was established 10 minutes away from the Olympic Village. Japanese athletes could use the support house for training, eating Japanese food, and take special carbon dioxide baths for recovery from fatigue. In order to develop a professional elite coach who can enhance athletes' performance in an international standards approach, JOC started a National Coaching Academy. It is a 10-week interactive coursework for coaches recommended by each NGBs. There is an intra-prefectural national sporting competition held annually called National Sports Festival. Also, Japan hosts lots of international sporting events, and it contributes to enhance athletes' broad international experience. Pillar 9. The Japan Institute of Sports Sciences supports elite athletes in a variety of forms in areas of sports medicine, science, and information provision. JISS is located next to NTC and supports top-level competitors through the use of state-of-the-art technologies. 1 week after the Olympic in London, the Olympic spirit was still burning in Tokyo, where a crowd estimated at 500,000 turned up in downtown Tokyo to welcome home 71 Japanese medalists paraded. It demonstrated Japanese enthusiasm for sport. We examined an empirical research about the monetary value of elite sports policy in Japan using a policy evaluation method called CVM. Our data showed that the value was over 300 million euros, and it exceeded the government funding on elite sport. Department of Information and International Relations in JSC might be a hint for a new pillar in elite sport systems. They engage in policy-oriented learning and in the transfer and adaptation of good practice from other countries to Japanese context. As you know, Tokyo will bid to host 2020 Olympic Games, and elite sports will be able to get further injection of public funds. In fact, the government sport budget will be doubled, taking into account the construction of the new national stadium. The major issue facing the Japanese elite sports is a series of scandals of sports organizations represented by the physical abuse of coach and misuse of government subsidy. Japanese sports sector is struggling for the enhancement of governance. In reaction to the triumph of the bidding race, there is a growing tendency for the establishment of the Ministry of Sport as a commander of sports policy. A project team has already organized, and it aims to establish the ministry by the year after next. Thank you very much for your attention.